Hey there, grammar students. This is Chelsea with Let's Talk. Today, let's break down the passive voice in every tense we have learned so far. We're going to start with how we do it. At the end of the video, I'll explain why and when we use the passive voice. So, it's a basic idea, but this can get complicated. In a normal sentence, we have subject, then the verb, then the object. With passive voice, we're going to put the object before the verb. All right. So in order to do this, we need to change the verb. So for every tense, the verb is going to be plus the past participle. But to be has to be conjugated to each tense. So this is pretty simple with past and present simple. We'll start there. I could say, the restaurant delivers pizza until 10 p.m. Okay, so we have our subject, restaurant, verb, delivers, object is pizza. For the passive form, we'll put pizza at the beginning. Pizza. Then we're going to take our main verb, delivers. We need the past participle, that's delivered. And we're in present simple tense. So to be in present simple tense with an it is just is. Pizza is, then our past participle, delivered until 10 p.m. All right, pretty good so far. Past simple. Someone delivered the pizza at 8. So again, pizza is going to be our new subject. All right, now we're in past simple. So our past simple form of to be is was or were. When we have the pizza, we'll use was. And then again, our past participle, delivered. The pizza was delivered at 8. So here are our two active sentences and our two passive sentences. So hopefully you're with me so far. We have to be plus the past participle. To be plus the past participle. So let's look at some more tenses where it gets a little more complicated. Okay, let's talk continuous tenses. In present continuous, someone is making your pasta now. So we'll start with your pasta. Then we need our verb. So first we need to know how to make present continuous tense. Present continuous tense is to be plus the ing form. So we're going to start with is. Then we want the ing form of to be, being. Then past participle of the main verb. Is being made. Is being made. This here is the present continuous form of to be. Is being, and we add the past participle on the end. So, same for past continuous. Let's see. The chef was boiling water. Water goes to the beginning. And for past continuous, the form is past to be. So that's was or were. And then our ing verb. So with water, we'll use was. Then again, the ing form of to be, was being. And the past participle of our main verb, boiled. All right, is being made, was being boiled. It's just present continuous and past continuous plus that past participle on the end, and we need to be in the middle. All right, let's talk perfect tenses. I have separated your bill. All right, so your bill goes at the beginning. All right, this is present perfect tense. So when we do present perfect tense, we have has or have plus that past participle, right? So we're going to start with that, has. Then we need the past participle of to be, which is been. Then the past participle of our main verb, which is separated. Your bill has been separated. So this part is to be in the present perfect tense. Then we add the past participle of our main verb at the end. So same process with past perfect. They hadn't finished the cake. So cake goes at the beginning. All right, and past perfect form isn't has or have, but had plus the past participle. So past participle of to be, again, is been. So the cake had, and this sentence is negative, not been finished. The cake had not been finished. This part is the past perfect form of to be in negative, and we added our past participle of the main verb at the end. Your bill has been separated. The cake had not been finished. Let's move on to future tenses. Future simple, we can use will or be going to. So we'll start with will. Someone will make a reservation. In advance. All right, so reservation goes to the beginning. Then we want the simple future form of to be. So simple future is will plus our base form, so will be. This is the future simple form of to be, will be, plus the past participle of our main verb, will be made in advance. Or we can do be going to as well. Someone is going to make a reservation. in advance. A reservation. All right, we need the future simple form of to be with be going to. So that would be is going to be. This is our future be going to form of to be is going to be plus that past participle made in advance. Will be made is going to be made. These are our future simple forms for the passive voice. Whew, okay, that's enough for tenses. I do want to talk about modals though, quickly. So you guys remember our modal verbs, can, should, must. Oh yeah, there's a whole list of them. So when we have a sentence with a modal verb, like you must put the dressing on the side. Okay, so dressing goes at the beginning. Now we want the modal form with must of to be. So that is must plus the base form. The dressing must be. Then our past participle put on the side. So for any modal verb, it'll be the modal plus be plus the past participle of our main verb. The dressing should be put on the side. The dressing can be put on the side. So just add be after our modal verb, then the past participle. Still following this pattern, must plus to be, must be, and the past participle. Okay, so last thing I want to address is why we use the passive voice. So the good news is that passive voice is really not all that common, okay? So you don't really have to worry about it a lot. Especially when you're writing, it's better to use a regular active voice and not passive. But there are some situations where passive just tends to be used. So in general, we use passive when we don't know or don't care who or what did something. So this comes up a lot in the fields of science, engineering, medicine. If we have, I don't know, a bridge, I could say, that bridge was built in 1872. So I don't know who specifically built that bridge. It really doesn't matter. The point is the bridge. That's what we care about in this sentence. So I could find out who built it, but it just doesn't matter in this case. We'll use it for inventions. Band-Aids, the sticky bandage you use. They were invented in 1920 by a company called Johnson & Johnson. So in this case, we're just focused on the thing that was invented. Yeah, sure, J&J did it, but that's not the most important idea here. We're really emphasizing the thing that's being acted on. So here, it's Band-Aids. Or for another example, tomatoes. Were brought to Italy, there we go, in 1548. All right, I don't know exactly who brought the tomatoes. It doesn't matter. The point is the tomatoes and the thyme. That's what we care about here. Also, that's true. Fun fact, Italy didn't have any tomatoes until 1548. Crazy, right? All right, that's all I have for you on the passive voice for today. So in the comments, tell me something that you think should be done in your city. This is Chelsea telling you it's not nerdy being wordy. Let's talk again soon.